What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give my thoughts on Jeff Ulbrich's first interview with our Atlanta Falcons. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my thoughts on new defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. And personally, I like what I heard out of Jeff Ulbrich today in his first interview as our defensive coordinator. He talked about his familiarity with Raheem Morris. Those guys were here together with Dan Quinn when Dan Quinn was our head coach 2015 to 2020. And Jeff Ulbrich did talk about him being able to bring some new ideas to the table as far as him going to New York and being a part of the coaching staff there with Rob Saleh. He talked about this should be a multifaceted defense, which I mentioned in my previous video, that this will be a hybrid type defense, meaning they're going to run some 3-4 schemes. They're going to run some 4-3 schemes. And he talked about the NFL and the way that the NFL has changed and how as a coach, you have to adapt to the players. You have to adapt to the current state of the league. And I really feel like that's huge for our Atlanta Falcons because he did talk about in his first stint with the Atlanta Falcons, how Dan Quinn and that coaching staff did a poor job of making adjustments, in-game adjustments. And we've seen that in the Super Bowl being up 28-3. And we had that cover 3 scheme. And we continue to basically run the same schemes over and over again instead of mixing things up, blitzing at times, running different coverages at times to throw off your opponent and to make those proper in-game adjustments. So that's something that I thought was really intriguing with Coach Ulbrich today in his interview. Another thing that I found that was very interesting is he stated that he's going to adapt to his players. He was asked, what type of coach is he, like in the meeting rooms and out there on the football field and the practice field and things of that nature. And he basically said that he's an adaptable coach, that everybody learns different, players learn different, and that he's going to use these players and put them in the best positions where they can succeed. So not so much making them fit into his scheme, but him going out there and trying to put these guys in situations where they can have success. So I really feel like that's been a huge problem with our coaching staffs in the past, whether we're not making the proper in-game adjustments or whether we were trying to, force players to do different things. We've seen it last season with us dropping guys like Matthew Judon in coverage, dropping our defensive ends in coverage and things of that nature, putting them in bad matchups. And I really feel like that's going to change this upcoming season with Jeff Ulbrich because of his experience of being in the NFL. I really feel like that was one of the problems with Jimmy Lake last year, is he didn't have a ton of experience as far as being a defensive coordinator on the NFL level. And I really feel like some of the concepts that he ran put players in bad positions. Now, it doesn't all fall on Jimmy Lake last season. As I mentioned previously in my last video that I did about Jimmy Lake, I do feel like some of the issue was also not just scheme, but also having the correct players to play your scheme. And that's something that Jeff Ulbrich also talked about today, is that, great players make big plays and big time moments. So not only do you have to have a really good scheme and have to have players that fit your scheme, but at the end of the day, it's about also having those players to be the difference makers. And that's something that Jeff Ulbrich also stated today, is you have to have good players as well. It just doesn't come out to being able to out scheme other teams, because this is the cream of the crop as far as the NFL. You're going to have those, big time superstar type players that can make impacts on the game as well. And that's something that he also stated. So with that being said, I was really impressed with his first press conference. He did talk about, everything that he stated was just words and that they still have to go out there and prove it. But I do like where this team is headed, as far as I'm willing to give Jeff Ulbrich a chance and to see what him and Raheem Morris and this coaching staff, the guys that are on this staff, and Jerry Gray, He talked about Rutenberg that they recently hired as well. That it's going to be a collaborative type effort as far as getting this defense back on the right track. And basically, it's not going to just be his defense, but it's going to be a mixture of their minds and them putting their minds together and their ideas together to come up with, different types of schemes on the defensive side of the ball. So with that being said, I'm very interested to see how next season plays out. I'm looking to see who they draft, who they're able to bring in free agency to kind of play this defensive scheme to see if we can prove the defensive side of the ball. So with that being said, you guys hit that like button for your boy if you enjoy my content. Hit that subscribe button. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.